Hey, 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 happy Wednesday. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Tell me how you are. I am so freaking excited. We are having a bright, sunny day here in New York City. First of all, if you're joining me live, tell me where you're at and what's the weather like over there. And then if you're watching the replay, it's hashtag replay so I can know that you hopped in and you watched the video. So let me know that you hopped in and we will get started. I'm so happy today because oh my God, has it been the craziest moments of everything, of like emotions and things going on in my business, and you know um just talking to people, really discovering a lot of things in myself. So I wanted to just celebrate my own personal things that I'm going to. I'm not going to share right now, but I will share soon. But I wanted to hop in here today on our Wednesday training and let you know that there's 3 spots available for the free coaching sessions, right? So these are free coaching sessions, because I want to pivot my business from being a just designing websites to also business coaching. I want to help you start getting your first 5, 10 clients in, by helping you through coaching. So I am doing free coaching. And yes, there's a catch to it. The catch is that you give me a testimonial at the end of the coaching session. And then I can be able to build my confidence in coaching and like learn the skills of what people need. And also, it helps me in market research for my new program that's coming up soon. And I really wanted to emphasize on how I'm doing that and how I am, and I want to connect that to how I'm building relationships, right? And also how I'm growing my business from just being the design to actually connecting with people and actually helping them in their business, right? So if you are a consultant, course creator, or a coach, um, and you are needing help getting those 5 first clients in the door, you're needing help getting clarity on your next best steps in your business, and you are looking for some clarity, right? Let's talk. Let's grab a free spot. It's totally free. The only thing that I am asking in return is a testimonial at the end. And of course, if you want to continue working with me and you're interested, you could let me know at the end of the call. But I won't do any pitching in that call because I am focused solely on providing value and creating that relationship with you. So, one of the things that we're talking about in today's training is how can you create relationships in your business, and how can you go about that without feeling icky about it, how without um, feeling salesy around creating relationships, because at the end of the day, the bottom line does is important, right? Making money in your business is important for your business to keep growing, for your business to be able to get where you want to be and be able to grow, right? But if you are in this business for the long term, right, it is important for you to not just have clients coming in that go and come back, but you actually have clients in which you're building relationships with, right? And it all starts from the very beginning stages of getting to know someone, and attracting them to your platform, to wherever you're attracting them to, whether it's your social media profile, your website, your new program, anything free that you're doing, right? There's a lot of and millions of ways in which we are creating relationships on a day to day, with our marketing, with our posts, with our, with our the basic ways that we're putting ourselves out in the world, right? And I wanted to just give you a little bit of principles. I think I have done a video with this before, but I want to go a little bit more in depth of what creating relationships really is about, right? Because I remember the first years that I was going in business, and I was feeling very lost not knowing how to get clients, not knowing how to like really get, you know, people interested in what I had to say, or getting people interested in working with me. And today I can say that I've been able to master that way of, you know, of how I approach relationships. So it's not that I'm just um, you know, throwing things out there and sticking how it works, but I'm actually being intentional how I'm marketing my business. I'm being intentional how I'm creating those relationships, so people are excited to work with me, right? So oftentimes in business we can feel like it's just utterly overwhelming to get clients, and we don't have that clear path. Like there's, we could do the podcast, and we can do the videos on YouTube, and we can do the Facebook lives, and we can do you know, blogs, and we can do, there's so many things that we could do in our business that can actually just keep us overwhelmed and not really focused on the money making activities. And to tell you the reality, and the whole concept of a relationship um, comes down to this. I mean, the whole concept of a business is um, related to the relationships that you're having in your business, right? So I'm not sure if I was clear there. So basically, the success that you're going to have in your business are in relationship and proportionate to the relationships that you're having, right? So if you're having more relationships in your business, you're having more business, right? So I hope that was clear. And one of the thing is that this is one of the things that we're most scared of doing. But when you it's like being in a dark room and actually trying to look for the light. Not knowing where the light is, for example, not knowing where the client are, or how you're gonna get the clients, but actually instead um of like, you know, being that person that's scared of actually going to look for, you know, where the switch is on to turn on the light, we have to stop being scared of doing that and actually just do it, right? And knowing that it's part of being human, right? Creating relationships is part of being human. I know that when we are growing up as little kids, when we are growing up as, you know, teenagers, and we are in many stages of our lives, we are required to build relationships in schools. We're required to create relationships in our jobs with our colleagues. We are required to create relationships around, you know, the environment that you're in, whether you're in a community or you're doing a community service, right? There's always that core concept of creating relationships that's always like the main source of everything that you're doing, right? And it's no different in business. You need to be able to create relationships in your business in order for your business to grow long term, right? Of course, you can be able to be someone who just have ads and have people buy things from you, and that can happen, right? But if you want to like make a difference with your business, with things that you're doing, you want to have some type of purpose and have a business that's consistently long term growing, then relationships have to be part of your business. It's like a no, like it's non-negotiable. You need to have relationships in your business if you want to make this a long-term thing, right? So how do we create relationships? And it's like the one question that everybody knows the answer to, but you just want to close your eyes and pretend that the lights are just gonna come on its own without you hitting the switch, right? So you know the answer to this, and the answer to this is you gotta talk to people. Yes, you can't just wait for people to hit you up or start talking to them. You have to start the conversation yourself with them. Say, hi, how are you? How are you doing? I'm curious to get to know you. Introduce yourself. And let them know about you, about who you are, right? And that's how you create a relationship. You talk to people, right? But what stops you from doing that is your own fear. What stops you from talking to people is your own fear. Your fear that they will see your insecurities or your imposter feelings, fear that you're gonna look salesy, fear that you're not there yet. I know that I had this fear yet too. Fear that you aren't good enough. Oh my God, that's a big one that I think anybody struggles with that one, right? Um, and fear that you know they'll reject you and they won't respond, right? um so how can we move past these fears and really just move, like, how can we move past these fears, right? And it's the acceptance of understanding that the fear is always going to be there, that talking to someone, there's always going to be that fear that comes up. It's your choice whether that you let that stop you, or it's your choice whether you tell fear, hey, take a back seat. We need to start talking to people so we can start create these relationships, so we can start growing, right? So fear, when you make that decision, fear takes a back seat and you start feeling like, all right, we could do this. And you start doing it scared, right? So that's the second thing. You got to do it scared. You got to understand that fear is not going to go away. You can't just wait, sit down in the dark room, scared, putting, like, closing your eyes and feeling completely scared and not actually doing anything to turn on the lights, to look for where the switch is at, right? Not tumbling into things to actually see what works and what doesn't, right? And then when we do it scared, you understand, when you actually take the step of creating and building relationships and you do it scared, the next thing that comes up is that um you start to, like, feel and see that it's not the end of the world if somebody doesn't talk to you, right? It's not the end of the world when you start that conversation with people, right? You tend, right, feeling thirsty, you tend to realize that what you're who you are here to be is accepted exactly as you are, and all those fears that you had of making it feel like salesy, um they go away because you're actually just genuinely caring about other people. So what can you do to, like, have these conversations, right, and not feeling like you're cold calling or cold DMing people or feeling salesy about the things that you can do? Like, of course, we're creating these relationships, we're talking to people, we're doing it scared, but how do we go from having a conversation with someone that feels okay, that feels human, that feels amazing, right? And is that ask questions that will help you understand if they actually need your help before they even offer before you even offer them your help, right? So ask questions that will help you understand if they actually need your help before you even um offer your help, right? So don't just go into people's DM and tell them about what you offer, or ask them to subscribe to a PDF download, or don't ask them to join your Facebook group if you're not giving upfront value, if you're not asking them who they are, what they do, or that you want to get to know them. It's just not going to work. And it's basically just wasting your time trying to hit somebody up who doesn't even know you, right? So that's not the way we create relationships. The way we create relationships is that if you the way we create relationships is by just talking to people in a genuine human way, right? How do you get to know someone else at the beginning, right? You were born with this ability and with this skill of getting to know other people. The reason why you think and that you think it's that you can't do it, it's your own fear that's stopping you from actually talking to people. So if you're doing it scared, then that little perspective starts to shift, right? So now let's say you're talking to people, right? And you're having these conversations. So if you try to start a conversation with someone and they don't respond, um, or they completely shut you down from the beginning, it's okay. It's not about you, and that is some or that something is wrong with you. It's not about you, right? They weren't the right people to talk to, right? But you won't know that until you actually talk to them, right? So what really stops you from doing that first step is actually thinking that you won't find the right person, right? Of course you're going to find people that are not the right fit for you, and that are going to be a straight up no, and that are not going to be wanting or willing to have that conversation with you. But you don't let that stop you. You continue on to like seeing who is the right people that do want to have that conversation with you, right? And the only thing that will help you understand and get to know if that person is the right fit, or if you are actually going to be able to connect with them, is if you actually just do it and just talk to them, right? um So tell me in the comments, did you find this helpful? Let me see. I haven't been able to see the comments yet. Let me know if you find this helpful. Let me know if do you feel a little bit more clear around creating conversations, around creating relationships, right? I wanted to just come in here and talk to you about how I am doing this with my free coaching, right? So my free coaching is not just for me to just give out value and not really connect with the other person. It's really about building that relationship with other people, so I can bring in that value front end, and then when they are whether they're ready to work with me right now, whether they're not ready to work with me right now, whether they're ready to work with me like 5 or 3 months from now, I'm still creating those relationships. And I don't see that as a waste of time. I see that as a long-term strategy for my business, right? Now, you may not want to do free calls, or you not may not want to do things, but you need to find other mediums and ways in which you are creating relationships in your business for your business to be sustainable long term. Okay, so that is my take to you and my training for you on this Wednesday evening, well, afternoon. And I'm gonna catch you next week on Wednesday. But I still, if you haven't grabbed a spot on the free coaching session, please take me up on it. I'm going to love on you. I'm going to give you some hard love to get you some clarity and some, really good understanding of how to move your business forward. Thank you so much. And if you're having a lot of like fear and, resistance around creating relationships, we can talk about that. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. The link is in the show notes, and I will catch you next time.